Hey everyone, it's Vernie here. We're back with another vault for Dragonflight Season 3. This is week 4. As you can see, we did quite a few dungeons last week. That's because it was the Mythic Dungeon week, so if we're doing 4 dungeons, you got a cash for a free heroic piece, which is pretty nice because in that you can get any of the trinkets, jewelry, offset pieces, and weapons. No tier, but tier is pretty easy to come by. I think this is our 3rd Catalyst Charge week, so unless we've been supremely unlucky, I think any character who has KSM or has anything, like any piece from Raid or the Vault, will have 3 Catalyst charges, so pretty much everything's going to have 4 piece, so that's kind of exciting. We'll look to get the rest of my alts 4 piece this week. As you can see, I ran on all my healers again, so we're just going to go ahead and get started. Get into it. Start with the Monk. I think all of my characters have at least one Myth Track dungeon box. So every single one will have a 480 piece, which is pretty exciting. Could be fully upgraded. I tried a little bit harder last week to actually get my alts into 18s and 20s. Last week wasn't too bad. Some of the higher tyrannical ones were kind of a bitch. Murazon's Rise was not very fun. I think that's the one I struggled with most last week. We did get a 20 time. My Paladin actually finished up all his portals, so that's kind of cool. And we'll decide this week if we feel like going further or not. Alright, so the Monk. You know, my item level's still pretty bad. This is me and Brewmaster. I think my Mistweaver is actually even lower. We really need a weapon. We're like down bad for a weapon or trinket. We have like a 405 trinket. We have a 430 weapon. We really need a fucking weapon. We already have 2-piece tier, so I wouldn't be really excited to get tier, but I guess I would take it. So we're hoping for a Myth Track weapon. And we're loot spec Mistweaver. Let's go. Okay, that's a set piece. A set piece that I don't have. And then legs. Oh, it's the leech legs, though. Oh, those are really good for healing. Oh man, I kind of want to take the leech legs, but I can't. I have to take this myth shoulder piece, and then I can catalyze something for 4-piece. It's just too good to turn down. Pretty happy with that. I think these are the Chi-G shoulders, right? Where are they at? Let's put them on. Oh yeah, they're the Chi-Gs. They're pretty cool, you know. Do I even have a piece I can catalyze? I have a shitty helm. There we go. So I can catalyze 4-piece no matter what. I don't have KSM on this guy. I don't think I'm anywhere near it. If I did like 10 keys this week, I could probably get it, but we'll see. So, not a bad pickup. You like to see the myth tier, because that'll last you all season. I guess now we will go with Druid. The Druid also did 4 dungeons, highest being an 18, so there's a myth track piece, and it did a full normal clear, so we'll have 3 raid vault slots to look at. I'm trying to remember what my gear is like on my Druid. I haven't been playing it much. I think I did mostly Bear last week just because we had a lack of tanks, as is the usual for dungeons. So even though I say I'm going to heal, I end up tanking. So we got the Boomkin trinket from the box, which was not great, but I think we'll go Resto. We really need another trinket. An offhand, I guess, or like a really sick staff. 4-piece I'm going to have no matter what, so I don't really care to see tier. I guess we just want to see a fat mythic piece, and we'll just go as Resto. Okay, interesting. So myth gloves. We already have hero gloves. Pretty good boots, like perfect stat boots. Hitting hero track instead of champion. Those are solid. These are champion boots, which are lower. This is a neck. We have a lariat, but there's a Pip's friendship badge. I have a 420 trinket. I think this might be the one time I overlook myth tier in favor of a trinket. My trinket is so bad right now. It does suck to turn down myth tier, but we're taking the trinket. It's like a 30 item level upgrade, and it's overall pretty solid for all the specs. So, We'll be happy with that. I would love to get a pips on my other characters that I actually play, but we'll see. Alright, next is the Evoker. Evoker actually got a 20 done. I did a 20, I think it was a tall. Super easy, free portal. And then we did, I think it was most of a clear. I don't think we did a full clear in normal, but we have full cleared it before. So we're going to have 3 normal boxes from Raid. I already have 4-piece on this guy, so I don't. Tier is way less important. We really need a weapon. We got a good trinket last week. We would love a weapon this week. If we don't get a weapon, we'll probably just craft one. Because we have a spark. But I would love to see a myth weapon. We'll just stay dev. I think the healing trinkets are kind of bad. I haven't really been playing Prez as much, so we'll stay dev. Okay. 457 dagger. 460 neck, which we already have, but we have a better one. 460 cape, which is bad. Verse haste leech ring. The stats are pretty awful. The stats are actually terrible for everything except for preservation. Or hero shoulders, which I have 441 shoulders. I think this ring is awful. I don't want to take a ring that I'm not going to use, and Verse Haste seems terrible. Like, let me just glance at Devastation. I'm pretty sure Devastation is Haste crit, and Verse is your worst fucking stat. Verse and Mastery are like tied for worst. So I really don't want to take it. Yeah, Verse is terrible. I'm just going to look at Aug as well, but I'm pretty sure Verse is terrible for all of them. And it's a Verse primary ring, so I kind of... Yeah, Verse is last. Okay, even though this has Leech on it, and is Myth Track, I can't take it. I think I have to take this. This is just like a 30 item level upgrade, and it gives me some tier slot flexibility. I can just craft a ring with Biz stats. You know, I can use my Spark to craft a ring if I really need to. Oh, man, it kind of sucks, you know, foregoing another myth piece, but that's definitely a better upgrade. 35 item levels on shoulders is better than 40 in a ring with shitty stats. Okay. And next, I think we've got the Shaman. The Shaman did 8 keys. I think I just need a weapon or trinket, really. I'll have 4-piece this week with Catalyst, and I have KSM. So I have 2 tokens to turn in and a Catalyst charge. Which means we are more than fine on tier, because we already have 2-piece. We really need a weapon. We have a 447 weapon still. This trinket's pretty bad, so we would also take a trinket. So just don't want to see like tier. We don't want to see bracers because we're going to put an embellishment here. So that's what we're doing with this spark, I think, is making the adaptive arm guards. We did do 418, so we're going to have 2 myth pieces to choose from, which is pretty nice. So hopefully we get a little lucky on this one. We're opening as Enhance. Okay. 480 boots with Biz stats, but we already have hero boots with Biz stats. Accelerating Sandglass. And then a hero track crit verse ring. I think we're going to end up taking the Sandglass. I don't think it's Bis for Enhance, but it's decent. Haste is pretty good. Wow, does it just sim like really low? It does sim really fucking low. It's okay on multiple targets. Thinking. I'm thinking. It sucks because haste is better for the storm build, which I'm no longer going to be using. This is heavy mastery. You know, I almost want to pass it up. Like, what trinkets am I going to end up with? Any of the raid trinkets, the crab, or the branch? And I think the current one I have right now is like a C tier trinket. No, it's a B tier trinket. Well, I'm going to take the trinket. I think the trinket is a better upgrade for now. Boots, I don't really care about having Myth Track boots because boots are a pretty shitty slot anyway. So we'll take the trinket and we'll be happy with it. And I guess this week we'll craft a weapon and the wrist guards. Alright, 2 characters left. We got the priest now. Also did 4 keys on the 20 to 18 range. So we have 2 mythic slots to choose from. Last week we got a Balefire branch, which was pretty dirty. We got a maxed Balefire branch. I think it's 489 now because I upgraded it. So that's pretty good for Disc and Shadow, so we were really happy with that. Yeah, it's dirty. I mean, we have some absolute duds in here. We have 447 gloves. We have 441 boots. Both these rings are fucking trash. We would love to see, like, the haste crit ring from Blackrook would be really good. I could replace this first one. Or a weapon, obviously. A 480 weapon we would take. I'm trying to think, is there a healing trinket that I want? Or did I just go Shadow? I think we can get the Genosaur blood as healing. Yeah, we'll just stay Disc, I guess. We don't have raid trinkets to choose from this week, so we'll just go with it. Okay. 483 Myth Shoulders, which we have Champion Track. It's 20 item levels on those. And 480 gloves. Okay, it's got to be the gloves, right? Like, the gloves are just like almost a 40 item level upgrade, and we can catalyze eventually. So, reasonably happy with that. You'd love to see a weapon, but you can't always get it. Well, yeah, solid 2.5 item levels off that. Not bad. Alright, and lastly, we have the Paladin. So the Paladin, we did a full heroic clear, 4 mythic bosses, including Council. So we'll have 2 mythic raid slots and 1 heroic slot. And then we did a bunch of 20s. I think the highest key we did last week was a 22. 22 Throne of the Tides. That video is getting posted tomorrow, I believe. So we got quite a bit done. I mean, I think the biggest thing is going to be pips. A mythic pips would be really sick. Because we could replace either this Blossom or the Hero Genosaur Blood. But barring that, I guess the Mythic Shield from Raid would be my next choice. And then the consolation prizes would be like Myth Shoulders, Myth Gloves, Myth Chest. But I think we have to open as Holy to get, like, the Genosaur Blood. So hopefully we don't see, like, the Totem or anything. You never want to see those shitty trinkets. Last week we had a Balefire branch, and we obviously couldn't take it because it's garbage. Ugh, okay. Not exciting. I'm already not excited. So, Myth Bracers, again. We saw these last week, which we can't take because our embellishment's in that slot. And those even came with the socket, so that's a little disappointing. Crit versus Cape. These stats are pretty terrible, except for Ret, so we're not taking that. And a Hero Chest we already have. Myth Legs, we're using offset legs. We already have Myth Legs, this is garbage. A Myth Ring of the one we already have. But it is BIS stats for Holy. Crit Mastery is really good. This is a contender. And then a Neck, which we have the Lariat in, which is Haste Crit. So it's pretty much between a socket or a slight ring upgrade. Man, that's really lame. The socket is pretty good because it allows our Lariat to be a little better. Because we are using Lariat. I think right now, the best benefit is probably the socket, but I think long term I'm going to go with the ring. It's a BIS Holy Ring. I probably won't see this one again. The dungeon rings are pretty hard to come by, so I think we take the ring, and we just live with the incremental upgrade. Yeah, really, really unexciting vault, but, you know, That's how it is sometimes. 481.6. We may or may not upgrade that. I don't know. I think the rings are probably going to be the last piece I upgrade. I'd rather upgrade primary stat pieces. So, shield, shoulders, gloves this week most likely to get those primary stats up. We'll quick look at the affixes. Fortified, entangling, bolstering. Well, entangling's a non-affix, so that's cool. Fortified and bolstering, though, is pretty fucking hard. I don't foresee a lot of pushing this week. I think if you want to do 20s, you can do them. Anything above that's going to be really hard. Stuff like Waycrest Manor, like the dogs I can see bolstering. If the maggots bolster, you're going to have like really big witches that just bolt you down, or the Thorncasters. This is obviously going to be miserable in Throne of the Tides, like already the hardest fortified dungeon. Everbloom is also a pretty hard fortified dungeon. I'm sure the flowers bolster everything else, so 3 or 4 keys look like horrific times this week. I don't know if I'll be doing them. But that's going to be it for me this week. I'm actually streaming right now, twitch.tv/Veronix. So if you see this, or in the future, you can come check me out on Twitch. Hope you guys had some good luck in your vaults, and we'll see you next time. Peace.